LeBron
play that,
James
and then
coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure that I mind what I say about his son. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent.
Yeah.
That was a father. And I can't sit here and be angry or feel slighted by LeBron James in any way in that regard. By all accounts, he's obviously a wonderful family man and a wonderful father who cares very, very deeply about his son. And based on some of the comments that he had heard, or shall I say, I think he thought he heard, he clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it. For the record, his agent and friend, Rich Paul, has my number. Maverick Carter, who works under him, has my... That was LeBron James. LeBron James knows how to get in contact with me if he wanted to. He never called, because had he called and wanted to talk to me, I would have accepted that call. Had he wanted to see me, I would have flown out and I would have seen him and I would have had a conversation man to man. But that is not what he elected to do. Instead, he elected to confront me while I was sitting courtside. Ari Emanuel, the head of William Morris Endeavor, one of the agencies that represents me, along with Larry David, was sitting courtside. I was with them for the game. And he walked right up to me and he said what he had to say. What I would have said if we were in a different environment, because I was not going to engage in a confrontation at that particular moment in that setting. But if we had had that conversation, I would have said to LeBron James, I never would speak negatively about your son. I was talking about you. LeBron James knows how to get in contact. I have nothing but the best wishes for Bronny James. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope that he flourishes into an NBA star. Usually in other sports, we see all stars, and on occasion we'll see their children become stars as well. That doesn't really happen with the NBA. I sincerely hope he's the exception. By all accounts, he's a wonderful kid. And I don't know anybody who roots against him, and it certainly isn't me. But in the same breath, at the time that we were talking about him, he was percolating to such a degree that the Bronny James stories had gone viral. And so we had to talk about it. And when I said the things that I said, I wasn't talking about Bronny James, because my attitude is he's a rookie. It's going to take some time for him to get himself together. He'll be just fine, especially with J.J. Redick and the staff coaching him. I was talking about the position that he was put in by his dad. I have nothing but the best wishes for Bronny, because LeBron James has been on the record and he has said, and I'll read the quote here. There was a quote that he gave in February of 2024. The work and results will ultimately do talking, no matter what the size. If y'all don't know, he doesn't care what mock drafts say. He just works, earned, not given, etc., etc. But he also had said that his son could play on the Lakers right now, and he was better than half the dudes in the NBA. In the aftermath of all of that, he instructed everybody before the draft that y'all want me, draft Bronny. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I'll do whatever it takes to play with my son for a year. It's not about the money at that point. My point months ago was that because of who you are, one of the top 2 players in the history of basketball, in my estimation,
he did say that. We
there's an
covered
immense
that
amount of pressure that comes with that. Because LeBron James has been to be in that moment, to have LeBron look at me the way that he did, for me to be a father of 2 daughters, for me to know how much love fathers have for their children, and to hear what he had to say, it was all about his son. It was almost as if he was saying, you know, you and I, because he and I don't necessarily vibe, it's high and by, we keep it moving. Neither of us lose sleep over it. And it's been that way for years. But it was like he was saying, keep that between me and you. Almost as if he was thinking that anything that I said about Bronny was a result of him. And in that situation, again, I wasn't talking about Bronny. I was really, really talking about him. To be in that moment, to have LeBron look at me the way that he did, for me to be a father of 2 daughters, for me to know what fathers, how much love fathers have for their children.
There you have it, Hakeem. So he addresses that on First Take. Yo, Hakeem, your thoughts
I'm
when
gonna
it
agree
comes
with.
to Stephen
I'm gonna
A.
have to agree with Stephen A. Smith on this.
Me too. But go right ahead. Why do you agree with Stephen A. Smith? Because a lot of people are against him. Go ahead.
So I want people to understand, as he just articulated himself and broke it down, I said, okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yes, we are parents. We want to put our kids in the best situations. But he's not absolved from criticism. We don't care who
Facts.
you are. We don't care if you the best player in the world. Everybody get criticized. A lot of people don't
Yep.
like LeBron. So your son is not a special case. So so I was trying to understand why he approached them, unless that the criticism must be affecting the house. Must be the woman must be getting behind him. Hey, maybe put a battery behind Braun back. Hey, they're not making Bronny look good. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, though. I know a father is going to step up, and we'll give him kudos for that. But everybody should be able to be criticized. The guy wasn't a good player. He's
If you
like,
only average, if you're not even average about 4 points a game, Hakeem, 2 assists,
yeah, and he in
or
the
even
G
any
League.
form of rebound, yeah.
He's in the G League right now, ain't he?
He in the G League, but he's also in the pros right now. He's sitting on alongside with LeBron James.
And don't get me wrong, I love the idea. I love the idea, but I don't think that approaching, you know what I mean. I'm trying to see what negative comments were said. Mm-hmm.
No, but if the aspect of the whole thing, of the whole aspect of criticism, Stephen A. is correct. You're supposed to be able to criticize any NBA player. So if you want to be in the big leagues with the big stars, you're going to get criticized. If you're not performing the way you do every night, you're going to get criticized. Heck, we get criticized as well for our performance here on Chaoscultureradio. So you see Dialogue take away points, and he adds points, he do all that, but that's criticism. Is it good or bad? No, it's criticism. So it's either gonna make you or better you. Because Stephen A. The thing. What problem is? I think what LeBron James got so emotional about is because Stephen A. Smith has a big platform. You saw he got that massive deal, so people are looking to Stephen A. for his expertise. So anything he say can't harm you or it can better you. So I think by Stephen A. Smith having that strong platform, him talking about his son in a negative way, it's kind of hurting his game. So as a LeBron James, mind you, LeBron James stepped to him not as a player, he stepped to him as a father. Like, hey, don't talk ass about my son. However, you got to realize that your son's playing the big boys game. When
Yeah.
it's big boy game, there's gonna be huge criticism. At least Skip. See, at least it's Stephen A. Imagine if Skip was doing it, it would
Mm-hmm.
be a whole nother conversation there. So Stephen A. is the one doing it, and he's the one taking a lot of bad lies from a lot of people. But to me, you shouldn't. I get it. As a father, I don't have kids yet, but I'm saying even when I do have kids, as a father, I am gonna protect my kids. But however, you still want your kids to have wings too. Go out there. It's, it's a free world. If you protect your kids all the time, they never gonna learn. They never gonna grow. That's all I'm saying. Go right ahead, Hakeem. Your final thoughts before we move on.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I know we want to protect our kids from the world, but this is the world, and we got to jump into it feet first. LeBron jumped down here, and he take criticism every day. A lot of people think he's arrogant. A lot of people don't like him. You know, I mean, I do think that we have to take it in stride and keep it moving. And hey, help your son work on this game so he could be the best.
See, man should have emotional intelligence to know, like, okay, he's just doing his job. Stephen A. just doing his job. That's why he got the master deal. People are tuning in and seeing him. Okay, this man doing his job, and he take his job very, very seriously. But we as men, we supposed to be able to take criticism, good or bad, and run with it. Take the good and throw away the one that you don't need. So Dialogue does it to us all the time. He said, hey, minus 20 points. We're only you negative. So I was like, okay, cool. I need to come better. That's all it is to it. Now, if I was emotional, I'd be like, Dialogue, you ain't this, you ain't that. Nah, nah. Man, not supposed to operate that way. So, Bonnie James is the reason why Luca got traded to the Lakers. They traded for the. Boy, I love why Javi coming in out of nowhere, bro. I swear he just be waiting
I love it.
right
That
before
was
me,
an
right
uppercut.
before he do. Right.
You just lost.
See, that was it. What you see? Criticism.